I'll go ahead and get started with the introductions and stuff. We're waiting on one more judge, and then we can go ahead and get started. So, I want to thank you all for coming to our inaugural Perfect Pitch competition. It was just one of those things that we were sitting around. I think I was actually sitting in one of the ATA screening committees going, these people really suck. I wonder what it would be like if I was up there doing this. So I thought, well, let's try it. So here's Linda, our final judge here. So if you come late, you get attention fee. Front row. Yes. So the basic idea was take out the bias that there's a good company or a bad company, and let's make up a company that since it's fictitious can be perfect. And then let's have 4 people who should know what they're doing come and pitch that company. And so you'll learn more about barqk, which is our startup that we're very excited about. And hope that the technology catches up with the idea. We've gotten 4 very nice judges here to come today. So let's go ahead and introduce yourselves. Go ahead and start, Linda, with yourself.
Linda Capcara, I'm with TechThink. It's a marketing and PR firm specifically for technology companies. We work with the Arizona Technology Council, PADT, Digital Airstrike, and others here, and also national accounts. So happy to be here.
Yeah, so that's fun. Corinne Jude, I'm a partner and director of strategy for Ultima Business Solutions. We are a business accelerator.
I'm Jim Gulka. I lead Arizona Tech Investors. There are 97 of us that invest our own money in early stage technology companies, mostly in Arizona. And to give you a dimension of that, we've invested in 46 companies. We're about ready to do 47 and 48. And all but 5 of them are Arizona companies.
Christy Turner, Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and the W.P. Perry School of Business at KC, as well as Executive Director for Entrepreneurship across the university.
So my name is Eric Miller. I'm actually one of the owners here at PADT, and we're a mechanical engineering services company. What we do is help people who are developing physical products by either selling them the tools they need to do that, like 3D printers or software, and we also do engineering services for folks. We're about an 8-person company located here in this building, as well as sales and support offices in New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and Southern California. So really welcome to have you here. We're very active in the startup community, both through ATI and with CEI. We actually have an office at CEI as well, where we support startups. And we encourage you guys to take advantage of that. One of the things we like to do is something we call design days. We have somebody from PADT as well as an electrical engineer there. So if you know of any startups that they don't want to pay any money, they don't want to get involved with somebody, they just need to talk to an engineer, do check out the CI website and sign up for that. It's a free hour with a handful or electrical engineer to talk about your product. That's my answer to the fact that a lot of people get coached on legal and business and all that stuff, but nobody's talking to them about the actual product development process. So that's what we're there for. So welcome everybody, and this is the Unicorn Cup. This will hopefully become an icon of greatness in the Valley. It costs $9.50, so if you can break it, you get another one. It's the finest that Amazon had to offer. So the way this is going to work is this is the first time we've done this, so we're kind of making it up as we go. We'll each pitch the company. We have about 10 minutes per company. And then we'll have up to 5 minutes for questions from the judges. This is a fictitious company, so I do ask the judges to not dig too deep into it. But if they do ask you a question and you need to make stuff up, just make stuff up. It's not so important if the answer is accurate. It's more important how you answer the question. So that's what we're really trying to look at here. And then I ask the judges, that's what we really want you to judge on, is how they presented, how they answered the questions, how they communicated this company that we're all talking about to you, thinking of yourself as an investor. So some rules. Do not mention Shark Tank. This is not Shark Tank. We can be quite creative with this because we'll try to say, what I did is I filled out the ATI application for the company. So let's try and stay within the bounds of that. That's the information you do know. But if you don't remember, it's okay. And have a little bit of fun with it as well. So who wants to go first? Oh, good. See, I raised their hands first, so you guys go. my hand when you guys have a minute left.
This on? Testing?
You won't hear it in
while
here,
they're
but
getting in, if you guys do want to
you won't hear it in here. Let's just
let people know the live stream
Okay,
is
so I just need to talk
bit.ly/PADT live. And if you want to hashtag it, let's call it Intertober Fest. Hashtag.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's the second one, CEI.
bit.ly/PADT live, all one word.
There's also a second one right over there.
Oh no, then it's clicker worse.
Let's try it.
See, when you get to go first,
Yep.
you get to try out all the
This is an art.
We'll work out the kinks for you guys. I'm Patty Dubois.
And I'm Tom. We're from BARQ.
Imagine with me for a moment that you wake up in the morning, you see your dog, you're hanging out, but your dog doesn't quite feel right. Something's up. You put down their breakfast, and that dog is not really eating. And you're thinking, should I be stressed about this? Should I take them to the vet? What's wrong? Should I worry? I don't really know. I don't know what he's thinking. And the problem is, we don't really know. We don't know at all. So imagine if that dog could tell you what's wrong. Over 43 million homes have dogs. And we took a survey of 1,000 people, and we found 87% found it really frustrating that they didn't know what their dog wanted, that they didn't know what their dog liked. And that caused $3 billion in waste. Why? Because you're buying those toys and the dog doesn't like it. You take him to the vet, there's nothing wrong, he ate his poop, okay? So it's a big problem. But what if they could tell you? You'd be happier, right? It'd be great. And that's what BARQ does. BARQ lets your dog speak. And this is how.
BARQ is a product that allows you to understand what your dog is telling to you. It is the brainchild of our founder, Frederick Bessel, who was a very eccentric but genius developer, an engineer, and physicist. But he had troubles of his own communicating with his own peers, till one day he was working with Bessel functions and found a way that he could capture the vibrations from his voice and translate them into text and words. And that is what we are leveraging here with BARQ. He created a special microphone that captures the vocalizations, even the smallest ones from dogs, and converts them into words. Here's how it works. We have a wearable that you will put on your dog, and every time he makes a sound, a grunt, a bark, or any kind of a vocalization, it'll get captured and go up to our data center at Amazon Web Services, where we have machine language learning and Bessel algorithms that are crunching the data that will transmit that vocalization into text and words, which is in real time downloaded right to your phone. Of course, we've protected the intellectual property around this. The main thing is the secret sauce, the algorithms that Frederick Bessel created to do the translation. But we also have a very unique microphone that captures dog sounds very well, and we have a patent on that as well.
So our first target is those people who think their dog is more like a kid. These people are obsessed. They buy accessories, they buy all kinds of products, and we see them being able to take this product viral. Our go-to-market strategy is super strong. We've paired with PetSense, which is a retail pet company. They have 120 stores across the United States. We'll take 25 stores to begin with and take 10 callers and give them out free with the subscriptions. And as we're working with those groups, all of that data gets loaded up into our storage. Now, the thing you got to know about the Bessel function is the more data there is, the better and more accuracy our product becomes. The other thing that's going on is media, that we see this is just going to take off. Because let's face it, everybody wants to hear what their dog has to say. And we have found that a prior competitor back in 2003 got a huge amount of media. Now the problem with the Bowlingual is, first of all, it was made by a toy company, and second of all, their technology was not accurate. So we are confident our technology is so much better that we will not have the ultimate failure that Bowlingual did.
We will be taking this product to the market as a SaaS business model. The most popular package will be for households to buy an 18-month program of services that includes the collar. They will get that for $12. The cost of acquiring a customer is going to be just under $70, and that includes the cost of the collar itself, which is about $50 retail right now, but we know that cost will drop rapidly as we start moving into the millions of production units. The long-term value of this product is $362, and that's based on a 24-month engagement with the customer. And the churn rate, it could be as high as 8 to 10% as people discover that their dogs really don't have that much interesting stuff to say. Our goal is to achieve a 10% market share of the total addressable market of 43 million households in the first 5 years. As you can see, that will grow to $624 million in annual revenues. The monthly recurring revenue is phenomenal, getting as high as $52 million per month. An investor's dream and an Arizona-based company.
Next.
What we have also designed is a very profitable company. As I'd mentioned, the gross margin will be going down over time. Our gross margin percent will be increasing over time as we reduce the cost of the collar. The operating income is handled well, and so you'll see we grow from a 30% to a 45% net profit before tax. It's a very profitable operation. We're on track, meeting all of our milestones. We have 5 different breeds of dogs that are each testing 2 collars, so we're getting the baseline information that we need. We have our software loaded up at Amazon, and we're ready to go there. We're looking for $2 million of additional funding, and that'll help us create some additional prototypes and start building out the marketing and manufacturing channels that we need for this.
Our team is phenomenal. Of course, we have Fred Bessel, the inventor of the Bessel function. We have Tom Schumann, who is a serial entrepreneur and also a leader of his own pack of dogs at home. We have Lassie the 16th, who is a phenomenal media personality and also as skilled at interspecies selling, and you should see her give a demo. It's awesome. And of course, I'm part of the team, and my expertise is in scaling. Also is this phenomenal advisory board. We put it together to support everything we're doing to scale quickly, and our team includes Jim, who is PetSense and PetSmart, the retail portion, Eric, who has manufacturing, Skip, who's with Netflix. We'll be doing different types of shows on Netflix. Clive Wynn is helping us through the Canine Science Collaboratory with different vocalizations and how we might elicit more from our dogs. And of course, Courtney is helping us with our big data and the analytics. We cannot thank IBM Watson enough for working with their cognitive technology team, and CEI has been incredibly supportive the whole time as we grow this company.
We do have our challenges ahead of us. One of them is novelty, that this might wear off on people. So we have enhancements to the product that are coming along that help people increase the number of vocalizations that their dog have. Too long we've been telling our dogs to silence, but in fact they have a lot more to tell us. We also need to get our translation accuracy as high as possible. Once we reach $1 million, 1 million users, we should be able to reach an 87% reliability on the translation. And then we're also very concerned about the reaction from cats. As the dogs get all the attention, there might be a revolt.
So just think, what if your dog really could talk to you? Wouldn't it be phenomenal? Questions?
We have 42 seconds left.
Woohoo!
Very good. Oh, she wants to.
So go ahead, judges, any questions?
Is there any liability related to the accuracy of the translation?
I was smiling for the camera, sorry.
We do have a disclaimer that comes with the product that, especially when veterinary advice is required, that we do not support that.
So you deal with Alsatian versus German Shepherd versus Pekingese, all the different language varieties that are there? Huh?
Yes, and luckily with Clive's help at the Canine Collaboratory, we are working with making sure all of those languages are translated well and the vocalizations are really paid attention to.
Where are you currently at with your IP and the patent process, as well as with the stability of it or the success of it?
Yeah, we have both our U.S. and international patents are applied for at this point. We're waiting action on both of those, and the secret sauce will remain a secret.
And how stable is it at this point? What percent?
We're at 50% right now.
We can show the slide on our accuracy.
Yes, let's go ahead and do that.
So we have been calculating accuracy, and you'll see here that at significant size 53, we have a mean of 500. Anything over 400 is stellar. So
yeah.
we
we're
have extremely high accuracy.
We are really confident we're going to hit that 87% once we have the 1 million users.
Given that this is a revolutionary consumer product like iPod or first Mac, why are you not rolling the dice big time and going to Bob Parsons and getting a couple $1 million from him to do a Super Bowl ad?
And we have Netflix, and we really feel once the product is stable, Netflix will take us anywhere. They are talking about doing little snippets when you pop up your favorite movie and making sure that you are able to talk with your dog by going out and getting that product.
And we also need to make sure that our accuracy is high enough to go to a large market. So it's a learning process, a machine learning process actually, that as more data comes in, it gets more and more accurate. So we need a slow lead up time so that we can get the data up to where it needs to be.
Can you describe your customer feedback process to date? How did you sample your potential customer base, and how did you get their feedback on it?
We did that 1,000 person scientific survey. Okay. That was a mixture of going out and handing people the survey, talking to them, and sending it out via email. So we've got a lot of different ways that we collected that.
And did anybody actually buy it yet? Have they paid money for it?
No, not
okay.
yet.
So
we're in testing.
Okay.
But we are taking pre-orders if you're having
Yes, we are ready to go.
Any more questions? Yeah, great. Fantastic.
Thank you.
When I pick the dog name, I think how many cute pictures will we see.
Yeah.
So go, C-Spot, why don't you guys go ahead and go next.
Do we need the Patty left here?
Oh, yeah.
We'll be listening to you all night.
Here's her going.
Can you believe they just did that?
Not handing over the mic was part of the strategy.
That's part of the, now they're off balance. They're quite off balance.
All right.
You go to View up in the corner, yeah, and then you can hit Presentation or full screen mode down there. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lauren McDaniel, and this is my business partner, John Johnson. And here we are today to present to you bark, the sixth love language. Americans have a problem, and I think we all know this well. Dogs and their owner are experiencing severe disconnection. This affects not only the dog, but the owner as well. Millions of Americans have been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and social disorders. And we are all familiar with the Americans that are struggling with this. Little do scientists know until recently, that this is highly correlated with the disconnection that they're feeling with their dogs. But it's not only a problem for humans. Dog depression has actually come onto the scene within the past 4 years as the largest diagnosis from dogs that are experiencing their owners traveling, their owners leaving for work, their owners having children that are competing with the attention and the connection that they're getting with their dogs. This is leaving people and dogs feeling very sad. In order to combat these feelings, dog owners have gone to great lengths. They've bought things like dog strollers, Halloween costumes for their dogs, and there's even been a rise in doga, dog yoga. The problem with this is that these types of Band-Aid solutions are just causing more frustration, wasted money, and as you can see, a lot of potential for injury. Not only that, but dog owners are spending $3.2 billion a year on dog toys as a means of creating that connection, but that's not enough. Let me show you why. Because connection needs 3 elements. First, quality time. Secondly, acts of kindness. And third, words of encouragement. So let's look at the dog and human relationship. Quality time. Dogs and owners are able to spend quality time with each other. Hikes, road trips, all types of family activities. They're also able to do acts of kindness for each other, to show each other love and build connection. However, at this time, dogs are not able to offer words of encouragement to their owner, leading to the disconnection that cause all of those different social disorders that we've mentioned previously. Not anymore. Introducing bark. A way for your dog to now connect with you by giving words of encouragement from their bark to your cell phone. All of a sudden, you are able to hear the messages that you need, such as, "I love you, Mom," directly from your dog. Here's how it works. The dog wears a device that records their bark. Our crowdsourced algorithm translates that bark directly to a message that's sent via text message or notification on the mobile app.
And there you have it, people. A revolutionary product that is actually converting dog speak into human speak, thus connecting dogs and humans. Now, our target market is very, very appealing. The self-help industry is an $11 billion industry. And you combine that with the dog owners, 43+ million homes in the United States have dogs. Now, in our time over at Tallwave, we learned that if we just take 1% of the self-help industry and just 1% of the dog homes, we have a $47 trillion industry that we can penetrate.
Thank you, Tallwave.
Money, a lot of money. Now, our competition. It's not much. However, it's a big elephant in the room. Dog whispers. We all know Cesar Millan, big TV personality. However, what we're missing is that the dog whisperers come into our home and they connect with our dogs, more so than our dogs connect with us, thus leaving us still sad, still not connected with our dog, and now our dog has a new best friend that's not us. So we are once again taking that middleman out and creating that seamless connection between you and your dog. by translating their voice. Now, our roadmap, we've already completed our beta, our MVP. We're very proud of this. 90% accuracy in our barks. 500 unique barks. To your question earlier, we have them all covered. Our customer service provider has already been decided on. Latvia. You guys have been there. Lovely place, lovely place. They are very dog friendly. So we had to go with them. For the next 18 months, we plan on launching our website. We want to make sure that we are educating our consumer on how to speak to your dog. Until today, we didn't know that they could speak, but now we can. So we want to make sure we can educate them. We have open beta with our billing and our back end so we can actually make some money. We want to make sure we get that done. And our big goal is to be endorsed by the American Psychological Association to make sure that we are accredited as a method of medical use to cure this illness of depression. Now, our revenue model. We spent a lot of time at CEI attempting to perfect our dog biscuits. However, it wasn't until we left that we got the recipe right. Our starter kit comes with dog biscuits, our hardware technology, and a lovely collar for your dog. We give that out at $50. And then on top of that, we have a monthly subscription of $12 a month in order for them to receive the technology and the software on their phone. To date, we have raised $728,000. $378 of that is from us, and we received a $350 grant from PetSmart Charities because they love us so much. And our shareholders, we own 100% of our company, and we are our valuation of the company is $6 million. Just because in 5 years we think we can get at $600 million in revenue. So 10% we think is, very generous, very, very generous. We're raising $2 million, and we're going to use that to increase our manufacturing, up our marketing and our sales, and a little bit of operations to put some money in our pocket. Our financials. So, just like I said earlier, we plan on getting to $600 million plus by year 5. Year 3, we're going to break even and actually become profitable. However, I want you guys to look right here. Big money bag. This is something we're very proud of, and we're actually really excited about. We are going to be releasing our sister product called Meow. Now, Meow actually does exactly what you think it does. Translate the meow into human language. However, we come up with some, some little tweaks. We've been working with PADT on it, and for some reason, we can't get them to not say, "Go beep yourself." So, sorry PADT, you just didn't get it right yet. We'll keep on working. Now our team is, you guys came here for the team. I'm the CEO, Chief Executive Officer. The lovely Lauren here is the other CEO, Chief Emotional Officer. Because you guys all know, she's had a lot of time dealing with social entrepreneurs. There's a lot of emotions that go into that. And because this is such a delicate issue that we're solving, we wanted to make sure that that was nailed down perfectly. And we rounded the team out with some canine companions, the smartest dogs on the planet. Emily Schnauzer, our CTO. You guys know that Schnauzers are the smartest dogs ever. Roberto de Labrador, our VP of Sales, because everybody loves labs. Everybody. And Dr. Maria Chihuahua and Bob Pug, they are on our advisory board because there's so many of them in Arizona, we had to get a couple. So, everybody, please help us. Please help us cure this illness of sadness in America by creating the 6th language of love. Thank you.
20 seconds left. So.
Nice.
Ooh.
Perfect.
Any questions?
Well, since you're addressing a disease, sadness is a disease recognized by the American Psychiatric Association that means if you're providing a cure, the FDA is going to weigh in. And what are your plans for getting FDA approvals for your not only diagnostic but for your therapy?
Well, actually, because we got the grant from PetSmart, $350,000, a lot of that has actually went towards that. PetSmart has a lot of FDA experience with their, they are the largest pet company in the world. So we've spent the last year and about $200,000 already spent on the FDA. So we're pretty confident in that part.
What kind of validation did you do to determine the price point of $12 a month?
Thank you so much. We definitely believe in doing customer validation, and luckily, every time that we've been with a customer and their dog and we've provided that dog with food, we have seen a positive message given to that owner. And so we really feel very confident in the product's ability to be accurate. Now, owners are spending hundreds of dollars on therapeutic, alternative medicines, counseling, vacations in order to cheer themselves up. But really, with the starter package for $50, they're getting both the food that they need and the device that they need in order to create that bond with their dog. So $12 a month has been very, very well received among this particular target market of folks that are really encountering a lot of sadness and depression in their lives.
You mentioned there was a component that needed to educate the consumer to your plan. You had to educate them. So what percentage of sales do you feel that kind of a program will cost?
The education program?
Yeah.
So what I mentioned was on our website, we're going to have the tutorial videos of this is how you can speak to your dog. Really just translating the common messages that are coming through so that they know what that means and how they can potentially respond to those messages. So we actually feel that by just getting those promo videos out about now you can talk to your dog, we're going to make a huge impact in the world because nobody's done it before.
And what's your distribution channel? How are you going to go to market?
So that's another thing. PetSmart. Thank God for PetSmart. They are actually attempting to span to the European market. So we hope to go to Europe first, make sure we solidify all of the tests, and then hit the U.S. market once we're just streamlined and perfect.
What John's being very modest about is he has a really close relationship with the Animal Planet network. Friend of his cousin knows the producer there at one of the shows, and so John has really been, very hopeful that we will be getting our own show during prime time on the Animal Planet as well.
So, because your technology enabled the pet to communicate directly to the smartphone, nowadays people are mostly working most of the day having to leave their pet at home. So how are you going to address that disconnection that happens most of the time?
I'm so glad you asked that question. Right now, I don't know if you heard, there's devices that are allowing the owners to see their pets at home via camera. All we're doing is now all we have to do is license this out to those cameras so that they can not only see their pets, now they can actually hear their pets through this license that we're actually developing now. It's hitting the market, it's going viral, it's incredible. So I think we have a really great solution to that.
So that will be another revenue stream?
Yeah, licensing, 100%.
So if you go back to your financial slide,
this one?
Go back one to.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. Can't leave this alone. You're raising a very large amount of money, typically not angel funded. At $2 million, you're going to be talking to the small VCs who are not particularly interested in this sort of thing. And your valuation is screaming high, given the stage of where you are today, as opposed to where you may be in a year or two. So how do you justify those numbers as opposed to doing a raise of $1 million and a valuation of $2 million?
Go ahead, take it.
Well, Jim, we were initially thinking about just raising $1 million, but the angels that we've talked to, they have such a heart for animals, for dogs, that they really encouraged us to take their money. So,
take their money and run.
Take their money. It's actually just raining cats and dogs with the money. So I'm really appreciative of that question.
Once we told them about meow, it was, I mean, it was over.
Okay, that's it for I'm ready to invest now.
47 trillion.
I mean, the market of 47 trillion. Wow. This is Carl sitting here.
All right, let's go. All right, so my name's Nate, and I wanted to talk today and let you know about my company called Bark. So, I have this clicker. This is awesome. So, when I was 8 years old, I finally got my first dog, and her name was Patches. We got her from the pound. We took her home day after Christmas, and she wasn't spayed yet. So we got to play with her for a couple days, and then we took her back into the pound to get fixed. Got a call from the vet through my mom later that day after her surgery and found out she was pregnant with puppies. Talk about shocking, right? Here I am, an 8-year-old with my first dog, and I could have had 6 more puppies around the house. It shook my life forever, and she was the last dog that I owned. The reason is throughout our relationship together, I was never able to fully understand what she was trying to tell me. You know, I had her from when I was 8 till I was 20. She was with me for over 12 years. And as she got older in life, I couldn't tell, are you sick? You know, are you still feeling well? She'd have good days and bad days, but I couldn't communicate with her. So until I could fix that problem, I told myself I wasn't going to own another dog. So what is Bark? Bark is the dog intelligence platform of the future. The dog has both biometric data and auditory data that we collect through our patented hardware. It is then translated through our AI, machine learning, and big data algorithms into text on your smartphone. So now you not only communicate emotionally and physically with your pet, but now you can communicate and understand through the written language. How does it work? The IoT collars collect the audible noises and biometrics of the dog. So you can not only hear what your dog is saying, but you can now collect heart rate, blood pressure, temperature. It goes into our cloud, which is, you know, any cloud service now is on AWS. Through machine learning, AI, big data algorithms, they do their thing. They do their secret sauce. And then it shows up on your phone, so you know what your dog is saying via text message. And the reason we're doing text messages as opposed to a standalone app is we have too many apps on our phone already. And text message is one of the last frontiers where it's a guaranteed open rate. The technology, let me just tell you a little bit about it. So we have trade secrets around the machine learning, AI, big data. We're not going to publish any of that so people can't back into it. But we do have some patents. It's around the slobber-proof the slobber-proof microphone. You might think that's so funny, but we actually lost quite a few in testing. No one ate it, but they were damaged from moisture content. So we have patents on the microphone and the biofrequency sensors, which are critical for the accuracy and the translation of that information. Hardware, we have 10 working prototypes. We're testing them right now on 10 different dogs, 5 different breeds. So we're in beta testing with that. And software, back-end development is complete. Version 1.0 software is never complete, but back-end dev is live on AWS, and the customer portal is still in dev. Why does it matter? So why are we going after this market? Not to just solve a pain point that owners have every day, but there's 43 million US households with dogs. 87% of them don't have an idea what their dog is trying to tell them. We don't speak bark, right? So why should the customer care? Customers on average who love their dogs spend about $1,300 a year. Over 60% of that is on vet visits, some of that preventative, but most of it, they have no idea why they're taking their dog to their vet. They just think there's a problem. So of that $800 spent annually, now we actually have an idea of what's wrong with the dog. So we're going forward with a $12 a month subscription model to be able to now understand and communicate with your dog. And that adds up to about $144 annually that we plan on customers being able to save directly from their vet bills. Go-to-market plan. Now this is a brand, not just an intelligence platform. If you see what are the most valuable companies today, they're brands. Dollar Shave Club is a great example. It's just razors that come in the mail. Sold for over $1 billion recently. So now it's not just technology, it's the brand behind the technology that gets, that really collects the value. So as we continue to develop this, our long-term go-to-market plan is through the media outlets. TV, infomercials, things about helping you connect with your dog. Next is influencers. There's a ton of influencers out there. There's even doggy mommy blogs, right, where the dog is their child. Hitting that up and getting the virality effect on social blogs and other content. And then pushing our own brand content, case studies, ROIs, vets talking about how an owner brought in their dog and it saved the dog's life because of bark. And then our secret sauce is when we finally hit scale. In a couple years, we're going to launch the best promotion ever, and it's a real life show called Woof Woof. So think about Jeopardy with their owners, and the dogs are the ones providing the answers. It's going to be epic. So you might say, why the dog market in general? What's very surprising out here, Whistle sold this year for $117 million to the Mars company. It was labeled the Fitbit for dogs. All it did was track where your dog is. Our device can do that, and it can do a lot more. And then if you look at this, here's the ecosystem that's developing around pets, specifically dogs. They've raised over $100 million in the last 2 years in this segment. And what's amazing is a lot of these are consumer focused, doggy treats, doggy toys, and over $3 billion a year are wasted in this category because dogs don't like everything. And so consumers are spending at least $20 a month on these subscription models for toys that they don't even know if their dogs like. And our platform, the Dog Intelligence platform, now allows these companies to license our technology to do consumer testing with the dogs and get real-time feedback on what makes a great toy. Revenue model, like I said, $12 a month subscription per device. We give the device free if they are willing to pay sign up for an 18-month subscription through their credit card, and that translates to roughly a 3-month initial payback per device and per user acquisition. Financials, this is in what I've already submitted to you, but basically this is going to be big. And here's our management team, great seasoned entrepreneurs here in the local community that really know technology and are great at go-to-market strategies. I'm very familiar with most of them. The ask, so we've been bootstrapped to date. We've got a $350K grant as well as our own founder money in it. We're raising $2 million at a $6 million pre-money. So help us build the dog intelligence platform of the future. So any questions?
2 minutes left on that one.
So like you heard when you were listening to the other presentations, I was concerned about the valuation here. And it seems to me that you've left an enormous amount of value opportunity on the table because your AI and the algorithms you develop are going to create basically a 2-language dictionary and etymology, not etymology, but grammar that is translatable from one to the other. So why are you not exploring the potential for translating English into bark? So you can communicate directly with your dog in a language that your dog knows.
Great question. So we're focused initially on a launch, right? There's still testing that needs to be done. We have great thesis and market segmentation, as well as research that proves that we can do it in one direction. Long term, that is in our roadmap, technology, but we're not going to be successful if we try to do everything at once.
So, to piggyback on what Jim was saying, there's another avenue there. You mentioned that you were collecting biometrics and a lot of health information. So is that Does the technology have the potential to become the health tech for the veterinarian?
So now you're seeing all the great potential that we see in the company as well. There is a huge opportunity to go through the veterinary clinics as well as sell the data rights of your dog to the veterinary clinic as a lead gen tool for them, and then it builds stickiness within their practice. So that is something on our revenue roadmap as well, but we're trying to stay focused initially on launching with the technology.
So I read in your proposal that you are about 50% accuracy, but confident in your 87% goal. Outside of the accuracy of the language conversion, what do you consider your biggest risk?
Other than dogs, slobbering all over their microphones, which I think we've fixed, the biggest risk we have is how we build our brand, right? Technology, it seems to be buttoned down. We have great technology leaders that are helping us build it, source it, scale it. But the tricky thing in today's market is how do you build a brand? How do you go to market with both a consumer-facing and a business-oriented product? And so we still need a marketing person on our team. We've talked to quite a few. We haven't found the right person that understands how to market directly to the end consumer. But we've got about 3 or 4 people in our queue right now that we feel pretty confident, and that is part of the hiring strategy with this raise.
So have you maybe identified any canine celebrity that can endorse your product?
There are so many out there. They're just barking at the door right now, waiting to join. Join the company is sponsors, so we're just trying to find the right candidate, as well as make sure that that dog is very highly accurate with our algorithms before we launch.
All right. Any more questions? All right. I feel really bad because I literally spent an hour on mine, if that much. So I'm already making excuses for how much I'm going to suck. So.
But you have actual prototyping.
I do. We'll leverage PADT. Yeah. Not worried about that part, right? Okay. So hello, my name's Eric Miller, and I'm very excited to talk to you today about our new product called Bark. We want to let your dog speak. And thank you for your time today to listen to what we think is going to change the world of pet ownership. Hold the remote properly. There we go. So we really want to make it so friends can talk. That's our goal here. Oops. See, I keep hitting the wrong button. The bond between humans and canines is ancient and strong. Since that first wolf came into the fire and we fed it, we created a relationship. So for millennia, we've had this best friend, but we haven't been able to communicate with them. We haven't been able to do more than just ask them to do things and then correct them. We have a lot of frustration over this, right? Because we just cannot get that word across. Those of you who own dogs know when they're out there eating that poop, and you tell them not to eat their poop, and they go and they eat their poop again. If we could have a conversation, that would get rid of that frustration. Many consumers, many of you know people like this, right? We all have an aunt like this, right? The children, the dog's more important than their children to them, and that's our target market. Some statistics: 87% of dog owners say the inability to communicate is a problem. Is that my phone?
No.
Oh, somebody outside. $3.2 billion a year is wasted on unwanted dog toys. I don't know about you, but we got that basket in the corner that's got like the half-eaten chickens in it, and it's a pain, and it's just money wasted. We found that 780 strokes and heart attacks per year in the United States can be directly attributed to frustration with your dog because you can't communicate with it. And we have billions spent on bad veterinarian diagnostics. What if your dog could talk? These problems would go away. Bark gives your dog a voice. It's a smart collar with a microphone, a Wi-Fi connection, and a battery. That's the physical product. The barking is recorded and stored as big data in the cloud. It builds translations using Bessel functions and advanced approximation algorithms. And then it estimates the speech, and then it is sent to your mobile application in an iOS and Android app. Now the key thing here is that then you give it feedback. If your dog, if the device tells you that your dog is saying, I want to go outside, and the dog is already outside, you can correct that. That's how the consumer helps improve the algorithm. So it's a feedback loop that's very unique to our product. So we have proprietary translation algorithms, on-device compression and signal processing, an outstanding user experience, probably the greatest and most fantastic user experience in the world. And we have the latest cloud-based machine learning, because everybody knows that big data in the cloud with machine learning is where it's at today. The latest technology for an ancient problem. We have technology that is ahead of the pack. We're using our rules-based special functions and our big data translation algorithms. That's our trade secret. That's our key IP. If we put it in a patent, people would be able to steal it from us and get around it. So we're going to keep that close to the vest and build our business around it. We also found that slobbering was a problem with the microphone. So we went out and got a new microphone that is frequency specific, that is waterproof, and we have a patent issued on that already. Our UX design for human application is based on leading edge research from the greatest university on the face of the earth, UC Berkeley. No one has combined canine-based tools with advanced speech recognition before. That's where we're ahead of the game. Our IP advantage makes Bark the alpha wolf in this space. And it's been proven in testing. We have 10 prototype units constructed. We're under test with 5 different breeds and 2 dogs from each breed. And yes, each breed does have a slightly unique language. It's up and running on Amazon Web Services. And we've passed our Wi-Fi connection to the cloud. We've shown that we can do the data upload to the cloud. And we can do the sound download and storage in the big data meta collection in the cloud. Our testing right now is on the translation to words. And we're at about a 50% correlation right now. We're really happy with that. We feel, I mean, right now it's 0. You really don't know what your dog's saying. We feel that 50% is probably good enough for most consumers, but our goal is to get to 80%. What we have to test is the mobile app interaction with actual consumers. So that's yet to be done. So it's field tested, it's ongoing, and it's positive. So we have a proven SaaS model. We're not going to do anything strange here. We're just going to go with a software as a service model. It's a simple $12 a month fee. The collar is sold at our cost, which is about $50. And if the consumer buys 18 months or prepays 18 months of service, it's $12 per month. Then they get the collar for free. It's a strong recurring revenue with growth. We predict about a 10% customer loss. We feel that some consumers are going to find that they don't really care what their dog has to say. Maybe they want their dog to stop talking. So we figure we'll lose about 10% on that. And then also, people will unfortunately lose their pets. So we'll lose about 10%. We think that it's got a lot of stickiness because once you've heard your dog, you're not going to want to give that up. Very strong stickiness. So it's a SaaS approach. And with that, we're going to overcome the business model hurdles. We're going to do a small penetration of a market gives us huge revenue. 43,346,000 homes have pets in the United States. If we get a 10% penetration in 5 years, that's $624 million in revenue. Only 2.5% penetration is going to be $156 million in revenue. And we think that's where acquisition is going to take place. Our projected margin is 35%, which in year 5 will give us $218 million in profit. It's the ability to be a big dog very, very quickly. We have a very dedicated and experienced team. Eric Miller, I'm the CEO of the company. I'm a lifetime dog owner. I'm also a very successful engineer and an owner of a product development company. And this is Mo and Maggie, who are part of our test. We have Emily Schnauzer, who's our CTO. She's the inventor of the proprietary algorithms. She has a PhD in both language and veterinary medicine. She's a noted expert in animal communication. And she was the 2011 recipient of the Kuvas Award, which is the Nobel Prize for canine research. So we're very proud to have her. And this is Tisa, her Kuvas. And then Roberto de Labrador, who's a very experienced salesperson. He's a former PetSmart executive, an experienced pet product salesperson. And he introduced the Fluffy Fun pet toy globally, and they sold to Purina for $1.7 billion in 2013. So he's had a very successful exit. We have the right people with the right skills to get this done. We're going to use strong viral marketing to get this out there. We're not going to be traditional about this. We're going to go viral with it. First of all, we're going to go to local TV shows and morning shows to get the ball rolling. They will take dogs any time of the day or night to be on their shows. So that's going to get the ball rolling. Actually, no cost to us other than showing up. Then we're going to work with the Doggy Mommy blog world to have them actually push this product out there. We're going to give them free samples. They will talk about it. It will go viral. Videos of their dogs talking will go everywhere. We think this will explode. And then finally, what we're really excited about is our partnership with the Animal Network to do Woof Woof. It's a pet show, a Jeopardy for dogs. And we really feel that this is going to show our technology off. It will be the what to watch show every night on TV that it's on. So it should spread like fleas at a dog park. We have small startup costs and a big return. Our investment situation right now is that we have $728,000 invested. $378,000 came from us. We have skin in this game. And we got a $350,000 grant. We have $440,000 in cash on hand with a $45K per month burn rate right now. We're raising $2 million in equity on a $6 million pre-money valuation. And we're going to do a $10 million Series A in 12 months. This is really to get the ball rolling so that we can attract big money and we don't have to spend a lot of time going out and raising that $10 million. The cap table right now is I own 51%, Dr. Schnauzer is 25%, and Roberto is 24%. Use of funds, $800K for production startup, $500K for marketing, and $700K for additional programmers to work on our applications and our algorithms. Our exit potential, we think in 4 to 5 years. We think that Google, Facebook, or Salesforce will want this. I think you guys are starting to think about this. What is the data worth? We're pitching this company just as a tool for consumers. What is that data about your dog worth? That's why we think these big companies are interested. We also think this is one area that Apple doesn't own in your home. They're going to want to own your pet as well. We think it's for a manufacturing company like this, we feel it's going to be a 1.2 times earnings. So at $164 million at $328 million earnings, we think that that's going to be our exit, actually. It's $164 million to $328 million. This is the disruptive opportunity you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and dream about as an investor. You want to be part of this. Help us change the human-canine relationship. We have strength in our market demand, in our IP, in our team, in our plan, in our financials. All we need is you to join our pack. Give me a call or an email at eric@barq.com. Let your dog speak. Thank you. Any questions from the panel?
Well, you know, in the United States, the average veterinarian makes $100,000 a year more than the average primary care physician. And it's not because they're doing things like cleaning teeth or spaying, whatever. It's doing all these extra kinds of things that bark may actually cause them not to do. And if they're going to lose $1 trillion a year by the elimination of unnecessary visits, they're going to react very strongly. So what is your competitive response going to be to intense competitive, real market strength?
I think that what we're probably going to do is hire TechThink, which is a fantastic PR firm, to come out and basically get ahead of that. To go ahead and let people know that there is a vast veterinarian conspiracy out there to take money from you. And to make sure that they know that up front so that when they make their move, the public will already know that what they're up to, and we'll just ignore it.
I hear you say the word rigged.
I believe that they're going to try and rig it, but we're going to get there first. We're going to get there first.
So you mentioned that it's an open source platform and that the data comes partly from the feedback of those that are interacting with their dogs.
Yes.
So what kind of quality controls do you have in place so that others couldn't mess up your algorithm?
Well, that's a really good question, and it shows that you really understand the science behind this. So I really appreciate that. The reality is that we're using big data. And as you know, as a very intelligent person, big data solves that problem. And that's really the nature of big data and machine learning, to address these things and so that they're not a problem.
Do you have a concern that the demand might be so overwhelming that you won't be able to meet it? And if so, like, how will you
In
your credibility.
in my backup slides and in the application, I talk about what our concerns are. And our most significant concern is scaling. Fortunately, being from a company that is very successful in manufacturing and product development, we have partners overseas that we feel can meet this demand, that have scaled similar viral products as quickly. And we're counting on their experience and their ability, and to be honest, their child labor, to make sure that we get this product out in time. Yeah.
So you share the use of fund, your capital acquisition strategy, so the 2 million, the initial 2 million equity, and then another additional 10 million.
Yes.
So you didn't mention what is the multiple you're offering and on what timeline for the first 2 million investment?
Oh, so we are working on a sheet a deal sheet to put this out there, but our plan right now is to raise this $2 million. We know that it's a large raise, so we're gonna have to go to a syndicate probably of angel funders. So we'll probably go to about a 6-month period to raise that. We feel that we're not burning a lot right now. We have cash on hand, so we can take the time to raise the $2 million. Rather than going with $1 million and not really having enough to get where we need to go, we'll go ahead and do the travel, we'll do the syndication. We hope to get that raise done in about 6 months. Any questions? All right, well, thank you very much. You notice we stole the same picture, right? The Google search for dogs comes up with the same pictures.
That is adorable.
Okay, so what I would like the judges to do is you can converse among yourselves. You can go out and converse among yourselves. And while you're doing that, I like to ask the audience for feedback to our presenters. Does anybody have any comments? Or yeah, you guys have to pick a winner for the Unicorn Cup. You're not just asking questions. So one of the things that I'll get the ball rolling on the comments, and hopefully for those of you that may be in startups, that's really beneficial is I really like the way people told the story. And I think that's something that's missing. I mean, it was missing in mine for sure. I felt engaged in the story about your pet, about people having depression and things like that. So I thought that was really something that's missing in a lot of startup pitches that you guys had. So I commend you on that. Anybody else have any feedback? Yeah, go ahead.
One thing that I appreciated was if I was an investor, I believe that you gave me the data, the financial data, to determine whether and I think most investors who have a portfolio, their money's already working for them. So if they want to invest in something, you need to pull it from here and put it here. And you gave me a 1.5 EBITDA, you told me the top line growth, you said there's another round of funding at 10 million to follow. And it showed me that, man, I'll take my money out of this investment and put it in here because it's a better deal.
The value of the investment.
Yeah, so there's a lot of value from an investor standpoint to see your financials at the end.
Even though I made them up, but yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and similarly, the one question I have, I actually heard all the pitches include the $47 billion house, right? And that's one of those red flags that I was always told. You never try and say, all I need is 1% of the
And that is why I put it in the I put two things in the proposal to bring this up. That was one of them. The valuation was the other. It's way too high. So yeah, go ahead.
So how do you fix that though with the given information? What was the right pitch there?
I don't know. Let's ask you guys.
Can I,
yeah, go ahead.
So someone that hears like 10 or 20 pitches a week, like we never believe your financials. We never believe when you say you're going to raise the next round. It's not going to happen in that time frame. And if you surprise us, we are so happy. The other thing is we really don't care how big your market is because like we know that the hardest part is building your team, building your product, and then being able to scale it initially. So as long as there's at least a couple $100 million market, we're like, okay, it's big enough. So I mean, those are things that everybody kind of have to go through that as a founder to understand, like, is this market big enough? Do I have numbers? Have I thought about the business model and the economics? And am I thinking about what milestones I need for that next raise? After that, it's all just guessing.
Yeah, I think we have a point. I think the answer to the question maybe would have been to have organically come at that solution. I can sell this many units per month. I can. So show how having a sales organization and, well, mommy bloggers, which is another one of my pet peeves, how you can get there using that. So I think that's the answer. Any other comments?
Well, we usually like to work it by what do you actually think you can do per unit, and you think about how many people you have and how much time you got the pipeline through.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
Well, to take it even more detail, the number of companies that lost money on yet returning on markets, is that we really got to talk about profile very closely those first customers you're going to get. And how? And I didn't see, you know, these. It wasn't
Good point.
much of a profile. Okay, these are this. We're going to get these pet, you know, 1% of the PetSmart customers. And, you know, you do it geographically. You do it by some type of profile. And that's one of the things.
That's a good point.
You know, on pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You know, we got each doctor and country profile to the T to know, you know, where they are. At least they did that years ago before big data. But people don't do that. You just think of percentages instead of just really getting out there and saying, get some dollars coming in with well-profiled customers.
Okay.
Then you can start to fix that.
Yeah, and one of you did profile your started. You guys had your profiled customers, so that was good to see. Yeah. Go ahead.
The thing to do is, when you're just like what you said, and then the money question, you profile the traction that you already made. You know, with our entrepreneurs, you've already gotten 16 campuses, or you've already penetrated PetSmart. And really harp on that rather than attempting to go at the big picture, because you could talk about the big picture, you know, in private doors with the investor over a long period of time. You know, when the pitch is very important to get the story down, to get them emotionally attached, and then get into the details in those more significant conversations. So that's kind of the thing, the art of the pitch, where you're talking more so about the story. The details will come with time.
I think that's good because, like, sometimes you don't want to give them all the information. You want them to start getting engaged. You know, if we're missing something, we're like, so tell me about your go-to-market, I'll see it there. And then if the entrepreneur is really able to articulate, here's how we're going to walk and tackle that through, it goes a lot of big conference, which it sounds like that's what you
Yeah. Oh, the judges are coming back. So before we get the announcement, I want everybody to thank Sam for being our AV guy here today. Anybody that's ever done a pitch or listened to a pitch knows that you usually have a technical failure. I think everything worked without a problem so far. So, and it is recorded. We're going to have to edit it a little bit because we had the previous presentation had some proprietary information we had to cut out. But I hope you found this as useful as I did. I learned a lot, actually. And I hope you use it, those of you who do mentoring, that you use it with your customers. I think it's actually really useful. I really enjoyed it. Good stuff. So now we await the final decision. Who is your chairman that's going to announce, Jim?
So the first thing that we're going to do is talk about what each of the teams did particularly well. And so we're going to start with Huber in CEI. Nicely done. At C-Spot, there were high marks for creativity with the idea of disease, sadness, and the idea of another product line. Very, very good. At Tallwave, Nate did a really terrific job of converting a goof into something you took seriously. And Eric's presentation made the product really come alive. I mean, if you didn't think that this was a goofy product, you'd actually follow the description and say, oh, there's something real here that I actually might be interested in. So I think each one, or we think altogether, that each one had a particularly important strength that added a lot to the conversation today. And our overall winner we agreed on is CEI.
Come on up. I hear there was a wager involved, so I hand to you the unicorn cup. Yes, it's so heavy. You can engrave it. I don't guarantee it'll survive, but. So it was a lot of fun, and I really did enjoy it. Yes. Yes. Oh yes. Well, so during the pizza and beer session afterwards, if you would like to speak with any of us about investing in our version of Bark, we'd be more than willing to take investments. I don't think that the stocks we'll give you will be worth the paper they're printed on, but they may be worth more than some of the companies I've invested in. So. So I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We hope to do this again in a year, maybe in a bigger venue, so we can get more people, and hopefully get more actual startups to come, because I think it'd be very beneficial. So thanks to our judges as well. The official start of our open house is in 15 minutes, but you're more than welcome to go and get, I assume the beer and pizza is out there, and some wine as well, or soda, or you can mingle around here. And thank you all for coming. Really enjoyed it. Thank you.